Give him one.
Any more clarity on how you plan to play your quarterbacks Friday?
Not at this time.
Can you see just playing two of them?
We don't have clarity on it yet. I'll discuss it with them and go from there.
Todd, do you anticipate Pryor playing in this game?
He's close to. We'll make a game time decision, but he's running around a lot better. But we're on grass, and that's on field turf. I'll see how he's feeling.
Would you want him, if he doesn't, for argument's sake, if he does not play this week, would you want him to play in the fourth preseason game?
I like to see him play whenever he's healthy enough to play, whether it's this game or the next game. He's been practicing well. Again, his will be a game time. I like to see him play, but we're going to play it by ear.
What would you need to see from those two guys to convince you that they're good to play?
Just that they're healthy and they can handle everything. Day-to-day process, seeing how they feel the next day is the biggest thing with their injuries. It's not the practice itself. It's about the next day afterwards. So I'll see how they come around and been coming around all week, and I'll make that decision on Friday night.
Do you want to play Marcus?
I like to see him play too. Again, he's been running around a lot, but again, he's on grass and it's on field turf. If he's healthy enough, he needs to get some plays in because he's got a lot of rust to dust off.
Where would Beecham fall into that question?
Beecham's been practicing. We're bringing him along a little slow. He's probably behind the other ones. I don't need to see him play, but if he's healthy enough to play, he'll play.
So you said a couple times in field turf and grass. So what is the difference between the two from an endurance standpoint, and how it can potentially lead to an injury, or I guess be more forgiving? I mean, what's the difference?
It won't lead to an injury, but it's harder on the field turf than it is on the natural grass. And anybody with leg injuries, it has after effects after practice is over or the next morning. So you don't know with the guys with leg injuries, you got to be careful about. If it's anybody with anything from the waist up, it's fine. So from that standpoint, we just have to be careful.
When you're playing out the reps for the last two preseason games, how much of a factor is it that you have 3 games in 11 days to start the season? Does that have any?
It's a big factor. I mean, it's a big factor, but at the same time, we got a Thursday game, so we'll have 10 days to prepare. So it's not a factor as far as getting their legs back or anything, but it's a factor as far as coaches' game planning and us getting the players what they need to see for not just one game, but you can probably try to throw 2 in there without them knowing that.
What more would you like to see from your secondary than last year?
Well, it's just the cohesiveness working together. Preseason, they hadn't played all 4 quarters yet, so just getting them a little more than a quarter of work as a unit. Obviously, with Marcus not being there, they still hadn't been whole yet, but if he can play this game coming up, it'll be a little more cohesiveness from that standpoint, so I like to see that.
But just from a production standpoint, I think you guys only had 11 picks last year. Is that too low in your mind?
Well, we could have had 30, and that probably would have been too low. We need as many picks as possible. We need to get our hands, not just deflecting them, but the more turnovers, the better.
And how has Leggett looked?
He looks healthy finally. He's running around great, and he's had consecutive practices in a row where he's just moving around playing tight end, so I look forward to seeing him get more time.
Think he'll play Friday?
He'll definitely play.
It seems like you guys have better depth in a bunch of areas, at least on paper anyway. Would you agree with that? And also, how does that factor into some tough roster cuts in the end?
I think we do have more depth at a lot of positions, and it's going to be tough at the end. Obviously, there are some better football players from a depth standpoint at positions than there are at other positions, but there's so many of them that it's going to be tough cuts. I mean, we got a lot of tough decisions to make, and you want that as your team gets better on paper. You want to make the tougher decisions. The easy decisions, you can do that in your sleep, but we got a lot of guys competing, so it's going to be hard.
Lorenzo Martin tweeted yesterday that essentially that he expects to get cut. What do you think of that?
I didn't hear about it. I didn't see it. I don't have Twitter or anything, so I don't really know what he's talking about. So he's in the mix like everybody else.
How much, for the receivers specifically, how much do you factor in what you see production-wise in this preseason and camp versus the investment that you guys have made in the organization in some of these guys?
Well, it's production. Obviously, production comes first. It's practice habits. It's the way they study. It's not just on the field. It's definitely not just catches. It's being in the right place, knowing how to line up, knowing how to block, knowing how to apply the plays you learn in the classroom and bringing them out on the field and being able to trust you as a receiver to be where you're supposed to be. So the catches don't mean near as much as everything else. So it's about production. We got a lot of guys that come in every year, drafted or free agent wise. If someone else is better and we can upgrade the team that way, we upgrade the team. Sometimes we hit on picks, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we hit on free agents, sometimes we don't. That's just part of the business.
Some of those guys at the receivers positions been surprised you this summer.
No, they're all pretty solid. That's a tough group. That's going to be a tough group when final cuts come down because all of them can play, and all of them will probably play somewhere in this league. If we do let some go, they'll probably get picked up.
How is Herndon progressing? Do you anticipate that he might play on Friday?
Oh, he'll play. I mean, he's been healthy. He's practicing very well. We're just looking forward to see more of him. He's progressing. He hasn't had a lot of time to progress, but he's practicing hard. He just needs some game experience.
Why do you feel like it's important to keep the quarterback plan secret during the preseason?
I don't, but I usually don't reveal any starters or who plays. I just said all three quarterbacks need to be ready to play. I'm not trying to keep a secret or hide anything. All three quarterbacks need to be ready to play because you know how they react in certain situations when they have to come in, be it from the bullpen or whether they come out as starters. So you want to get reactions, and it's part of the evaluation process. So I choose to do that. It's not anything I'm trying to keep hidden and secret.
So you don't think there's
that's what
any
you're doing.
competitive advantage or disadvantage?
It's preseason. There's no competitive
Well, that's why
advantage.
we were asking.
There is no competitive advantage. There's no. I just explained myself. So if I just explain myself, and you don't understand that, I can't help you.
But they know, right? Tom, the quarterback.
They don't know yet. No,
They don't know yet.
not yet.
So is that part of it? You'd rather tell them first, I presume.
That's part of it, but at the same time, I like to see how people react when they get to do certain situations and they get to be in certain situations. I've explained that earlier.
When do you tell these guys? Just you talking about reacting to certain situations. When do you tell them?
They usually know the night before the game.
So that's what you're talking about when you talk about reacting to situations.
Correct.
How did Sam react when you told him he was going to be the starter last week?
I mean, they've all been even keel anyway, so whether they're starting or coming in relief, they've all been very even keel, whether they run scout team or whether they run regular team. They know it's a competition. They all understand that. They all have great knowledge of each other, what they can and can't do, and they enjoy being around each other, so it's a good group.
I apologize if you've answered this. You might have, but when you looked at the tape, how did you assess how Sam actually did in that second game?
I thought he played well. I mean, the 2 sacks, one, I think Payne beat Harrison right off the snap. He had nothing to do. The second one wasn't anybody open. He had some tough throws. He didn't get a chance to make any throws down the field, but he did everything that was asked of him.
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah.
Very much.
How you doing?
You hoping to play Friday?
Yeah, I'm just waiting on what the coach will say to give me the green light, and I guess they'll make the decision within the next couple of days.
Do you feel like you're ready and good enough to play?
Yeah, I've been doing well in practice, just trying to move around and get back used to the speed of the game.
How important do you think it is to get some game reps in before the season?
It's big. I mean, because you don't want your first time out there and is in the regular season, so just getting wet in the preseason game would be good for me.
How do you guys feel as a duo? You and Jamal entering your second year, having that trial by fire as rookies when you're out there and you got to learn.
We feel good. We feel confident. I mean, this off season, we put in a lot of work. Watching film and just out here working out, moving around and stuff like that. So just going to year 2, we see things a lot faster, and hopefully we can play a lot faster.
What's the recovery from your ankle issue been like? In terms of where you were, where you are when camp started, and where you are now.
It's coming along very well. I mean, in the beginning of the off season, it was beginning part of it, but to the point now is I'm back out on the field, moving around and stuff like that. So it's been doing well.
Has it been mentally? He must be champing just to get out there.
Yeah, definitely itching to get out there. It sucks watching from the sideline. I feel like I've been out of it for a while, so just to wait to get that call to get out there would be good for me.
When was the first time you heard the New Jack City nickname?
When we got here last year. Coach came up with it, and we just took it off and ran with it. Coach Denard Wilson.
What does it mean?
It's just a brotherhood that we have in our secondary, our camaraderie, the way we hang out with each other, the way we play with each other, just the style of play we have, and just the type of attitude and mentality we carry.
How good can this secondary be when you look at the pieces you guys have? You and Jamal, the new corner, Tremaine Johnson, Morris is back.
I mean, we can be good as we want to be. It's just going to come with how much effort we put into it. How great we want to come out and put on display every day. The amount of work we put in is the amount of work we can get out, and we've been working hard since we all got together.
Marcus, there was an article, I think, about 2-3 weeks ago with Jamal, talking about last year. Is his attitude kind of good, do you think, for the team? Just that desire, not wanting to accept?
I mean, yeah, you don't want anybody, on your team that's willing to accept losing or, willing to be in second place. You always want winners on your team. You want guys that's going to come out and put in the work every day. We want guys that want to be here. So, his mentality, his mindset is, he wants to win. So whatever it takes to win that's what it is. And, you have a guy like that, you have no choice but to come along with it.
Everybody good? Thanks, Marcus.
Yep,
Thanks, boys.
appreciate it.
start with questions.
Morris, I think it was the last year, a little bit earlier in camp, you were dealing with a wrist injury, but aside from that, I mean, it seems like you've been a full participant on just about everything. How good has it felt to kind of be entirely healthy this year, and how does it help you as you prepare for this?
It's been good. You you just try to keep up on the little maintenance stuff here and there. Because anybody at this point right now, every guy in that locker room probably have something that's going on. That's probably around the football league. But I'm just trying to keep up on everything, and the coaches, especially my DB coach, he's doing a great job of, taking some of the reps off of me here and there, but still making sure I go in and get the work that I need to get done. And I just try to make sure that I'm dialed in on top of my assignment, everything I have to do, from the walkthroughs, and stuff like that. Just getting every mental rep that I can when I'm not in.
Well, what do you notice of Jamal Marcus this training camp compared to last year?
Just the amount of growth, that I've seen from those guys, from picking up the defense, from going out playing the way they did last year, to this year, I feel like they're more comfortable and they're getting more comfortable, with the scheme. We're getting more comfortable with playing with one another and, just knowing what each other thinking in certain situations and stuff like that. And I think him and Marcus have, grown tremendously with just taking over the defense when they're on the back end. Like Marcus, he's mainly a quiet guy. He don't do too much talking. So we're in the process now of him, really communicating and talking. He knows everything, but he just has that quiet type of guy where he don't like to get that loud. But we're working on those guys communicating, and breaking down the whole defense.
Looks like you guys are having tons of fun on the sideline with the music during practice. How much fun has this been for you?
It's been a lot of fun. I enjoy every day that I get to wake up to come here, and do something I love to do, and do it with a fun group of guys, that you can just come in and be yourself around, and everybody accept everybody in, take everybody in like we're family here, So when you come out here and do something you love to do with a group of guys that make your job easy and make it fun, you got to enjoy it.
There's been talk of the secondary to be one of the better units in the league. You obviously add Tremaine to an already pretty good unit. What do you think of the ceiling for this group and what you think you guys can do?
I feel like we can do a lot of things. I feel like we can this group, with this team, we can go somewhere it hasn't been in a while. Like you said, we're loaded with talent, on the back end, but if that talent don't come to work every day, and they don't give it 100%, the time is going to pass us by. And, before you know it, it'll be next year this time, and we'll probably be asking the same question. But it's just all what we do with it. And like we said, we have all the pieces. We just have to find a way to put it together and go get some wins.
Do all the DBs have one of those shirts?
Yes.
So it's only DB. What if another player, like a defensive lineman, allowed to wear it, or is it just a DB thing?
Yeah, I think they just made all the DBs one, so it shouldn't be an extra one out there.
So you guys didn't have
Yes.
shirts last year, did you?
Yes, we got them last year as well. Yes.
What's it like finding that new Jack City identity?
It's fun because I don't feel like it still hasn't made it yet, but we're pounding away at it. And
there's so many in football.
Yes.
Legion of Boom.
Yes.
There's everything.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what's it like trying to...
So for us right now, it's going to lay it out on the field. Put the name out there and let the people judge to see if it sticks or not.
Should you sell the jerseys and maybe get some extra cash?
I couldn't hear you.
So can you sell the jerseys at the games and the T-shirts at the games?
That ain't for me. It ain't for me.
Doesn't need extra cash.
Could you use extra?
You guys kind of have to, you have the nickname, you obviously have talent, but now it's kind of like you guys have to prove it a little.
Definitely. I mean, with anything, you have to go prove it. With anything, you're trying to make a nickname, for your secondary or for yourself. Like I said, like you have to go put the product out there and let the people tell you if it sticks or not. You can't just put it on you can put it on yourself, but it's not gonna stick just around you. But for it to get out, it's for you guys to judge.
What do you want people to think of when they think, they hear this nickname? Like when they see you guys play, what do you think you guys want to represent?
Yeah, we want people to fear us when we walk out. We gonna walk out. We're gonna talk noise. We gonna You know, we're gonna play on the edge, but not hurt the team. You know, we just gonna go out there and leave it out there. You know, from me to True to everybody, every guy in that room, Buster, everybody. You know, we have the same mindset, and that's to go out and you know, and perform at a high level.
Why has True been so successful, and what has his addition meant to you guys? What you see so far in camp?
It's meant a lot. You know, he's one of those guys that's very laid back, but you know, smart football player. You know, anytime I'm around him, you know, anything like that, you know, and he's talking, you know, I always stop and listen. You know, which with everybody, you know, even I don't care how young you are or old you are, you're in the league. Like Jamal, you know, those guys say some certain things. Hey, repeat that, you know, because you know, I realize I'm not too old to learn something new, no matter who it's coming from. You know, and you know, I put myself in those situations to try to learn whatever I can learn from everybody. You know, no matter who it is, and having Tremaine, you know, certain things he tell other people. You know, hey, what did you tell him? You know, how did you like? How would you play this? You know, just you know to put it together. You know, he's had a lot of success in this league, and you know, and I can take something from that.
What stands out about his physical traits?
I mean, he's big, rangy, long. You know, at the line of scrimmage, when he get hands on you, he gets hands on you. And you know, and just working with him in individual drills, and you know, being a receiver, releasing for him, I can feel what they're going through.
How does his arrival this year impact you in terms of maybe matchups you might face that might be different from last year?
You know, I have no idea how that's going to play out, but you know, I do know we got two corners who can match up with anybody in the league.
Because of the expectations you all have for the secondary, is it important to get Marcus out there and have you four starters together for 3 quarters, or is that overrated heading into
I mean, it's definitely important to have that playing time, but you know, you have to be really up for that. And where it's looking out, you know, they're easing him back in, you know, which they should, you know, with the type of injury that he had. But you know, every time we have him out there, you know, it's good to have him out there, even if it's walkthroughs. You know, he's been getting a lot of snaps here recently in practice. You know, so it's good to have him out there and you know let him get his feet back wet and run around.
Well, you talked about, you know, you want people to fear you and be aware of how good you guys are. What do you have to do for that to happen?
You just gotta go make a statement. You know, each and every game we gotta go out and make a statement. You know, control the airways. You know, it's the best way I can put it.
I know it's the preseason, but what about the significance of the third preseason game when typically you guys get some extended time and then playing a team like the Giants who got some pretty good skill position players?
It's going to be a good test for us. You know, like you say, like we're playing a little bit more. You know, we'll see some of their guys. Hopefully, I don't know. You know, but you know, it's good to be out there. You know, a little bit longer. You know, and to really get your feet wet, to really get that game experience. You know, but you know, we're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, no problem. All right, thank you guys. Have a good one.
All called that pretty good.